Hi, this is the basic training FAQ video. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can as fast and efficient. Before I start, no, I don't have dreads. These are little twists that I put in my hair so I don't have to touch my hair for a week or so. And this is the first time I'm wearing this jersey I bought for myself for Christmas. It is a Cam Newton jersey, in case you were asking. I love the Panthers. I also got this for Christmas from a special person. And he's got a jersey on too. Carolina Panthers. Let me see if my phone can help me out with these questions that I'm not prepared for. I haven't even read the questions yet. This is off the top of the dome, son. Has being in BMT made you realize that this is the path you want to continue with, or do you think no, not for me, as you do with your teaching? I don't think I can give a valid answer for that yet, as I'm still in school, which is still training. I'm still in a training environment, which is not indicative at all of what the real Air Force is going to be like. So instead of basic training being like preschool and the operational Air Force being like an adult, I'm like in high school. So I can't really give a valid answer on that, because I don't really know what the actual Air Force is like. I've only been in for a couple months. Someone else wants to know what their odds of are making it through basic training when they don't like exercise, they like to eat, they're kind of overweight, and they have a bad temper. How will they do in basic training? They'll get through it. You have a temper, but your temper will go away very fast. They put you in your place instantly. There is no talking back. If you talk back, you're gonna get punished for it. So, like, no matter how big and bad you are, you volunteered to go there. So at some point, your temper, your attitude, your talk backedness goes away. Like, we're all on the same plane there. And if you're overweight, you drop weight fast in basic training. Like I said in my other video, you don't eat that much and you're moving all the time. You have like 17-hour days sometimes. So your weight will drop off. I would say lose as much weight as you can though before you go, as there is a maximum weight that you have to be under. How would you pack now that you've been through basic? Also, how was your first night and how did you feel? I wouldn't stress so much about the color of things, like trying to find all black underwear or black or gray sports bras. We had a girl in our fight who had neon colored undergarments all the time. We had a male MTI for the most part, so they didn't really care, but I know it varies from MTI to MTI. Some want only neutral colors. I did great on the shirts. I had just plain shirts that I bought from Walmart. Anybody who had logos, words, pictures, anything on their shirts, they had to flip them inside out. So I didn't even have to go through that because all my stuff was just plain and boring anyway. I wouldn't just stress about packing too much. Anything, you go to the store within the first few days if you get in there, so you can buy anything you need that is permittable, of course, but you don't stress about things. All this extra things that they say you need, like shoe shining kits and like tweezers, like you don't need lots of things. The bare minimum will get you by. Save your money, man. And how was it the first night? The first night it was super surreal. When I got to the airport, when I got from the airport on the bus, like it was like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. I never thought it was actually gonna happen. Even when I was pulling up to Lackland, I was like, okay, I'm about to go to basic training, but it didn't hit me that I was at basic training. The first night we didn't get yelled at as soon as we got off the bus. Like, they didn't come on the bus and yell at us like a lot of people said. We got off, and she was standing there waiting for us, and she was like, all right, you guys are all on a flight, which was interesting to me. I didn't know all the people I was on the bus with were all going to be in my flight. We were on the flight, took us upstairs. That's when she started to yell, kind of like, we were like, oh, okay, this is for real. Put us in front of our beds, our wall lockers to our beds, and then she was like, get in the shower. You have 10 minutes to take a shower. And we're all like, and then she's like, no! Like, we were like paranoid, freaking out. You meet these people maybe 20 minutes before and you're already butt ass naked in front of them. So it's like a huge shock. There's no hesitation, there's no whatever. We're all terrified. So you just take off your clothes and get in the shower. And then that's when I knew I was at basic training. Also, the first night you get this phone call, everybody sits in a room and they get the phone call and you read from a script saying, hi, I made it to San Antonio safely, blah, 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 blah. You'll be getting a letter from me in a few days with my address on it, blah, 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 love you, bye. And you have to hang up. And like everybody in the room was crying. I did not cry from one phone call. I would just like to put it out there because everyone says they cry for the phone calls. The phone calls were more, well, that'll be a different thing. It was emotional being around everyone dialing at the same time and everyone reading the same script, hanging up and crying. How would a person with severe social phobia fare in the Air Force? Once again, I'm not in the real Air Force yet. I'm still in training. I keep to myself. It's Friday night and I'm in my room by myself. The weekends, I don't leave base. I stick to myself. So if you have a social phobia, you can stay by yourself, stay to yourself. You have to talk to authority though. You have to report to people. You have to give reporting statements and stuff. If you can get through that, then you're fine. But you're not required here, at least, to. Okay, I'll take that back. You do have to kind of like march with people, but that's not really social. You're not socializing as you're marching. You just find another person to walk with. Um, you don't have to be overly sociable, but this is just speaking from my experience because I'm kind of a loner. Um, but it's a good way to meet people. There's so many people from so many other places. A lot of them are annoying, but if you find the right people to hang out with, which I have not yet, then you should be good to go. A lot of people like it here. A lot of people love tech school. A lot of people love the people they meet. A lot of people keep in touch with people they've met like along the way. So it might transform you. It might help you find other people that are less sociable like yourself. You never know. What are the sleeping arrangements and how much sleep do you get? The sleeping arrangements are there's a dorm. I still have the tag on my jersey. I have not worn it yet. Okay, sue me. There's a dorm and there's bays. There's half the dorm in one bay, half the dorm in another bay. In each bay there are 30 beds, I believe, because the maximum flight can be a 60. So there's 30 beds. We only had 43 females, so there was like about 21 in each room, and that's just bed, bunk bed, bunk bed, bunk bed, bunk bed. Although they did away with bunk beds, they built new dorms, and they don't have all that. They don't have bunk beds, so it's just beds. One person's head is one way, the other person is the other way. One person's head is one way, the other person's head the other way. You're supposed to get technically 8 hours of sleep a night. That doesn't ever happen. We woke up almost an hour early every day to make our beds because we were slow. So if we woke up at 4, we went to sleep at 8, 9. We went to sleep at 9. You got some girls doing their hair, so if you need to do your hair the night before, that cuts off time. You get EC duty. It just depends on how the schedule's made. EC duty is 2 hours out of your sleep schedule, so somebody's going to tap you on the shoulder at 12:30 at night, and you have to be on EC from 12:30 to 2:30. So that cuts out 2 hours of your schedule. Sometimes there's fire drills in the middle of the night. That takes you out of your schedule. You're not getting any sleep. Most nights you can get a decent amount of sleep. It's just your body can never catch up to sleep. So it's just prepare to be really sleepy all the time. Did you pay for your uniform while you were in basic? Also, do you get your job while in basic too? Your uniform gets deducted out of your paycheck. So your paycheck through basic is not very steady at all. Take out money for your regular uniform, your ABUs, and they take out money for your blues. So don't be surprised when you lacking a couple $100 because they expensive. You get your job while in basic. I went in with a guaranteed job. Any person that goes in open general, open admin, open electrical, or open mechanical, they go on with open mechanical job, and then, I don't know, whatever week, I don't know because it didn't apply to me, then they get to pick between a list of mechanical jobs that they pick, and then they get whatever mechanical job they get them. How's it going for you? It's an experience, I'll say that. Was it as bad as you thought? I'm leaving in 52 days and I'm so nervous. Was it as bad as I thought? Basic training? Yes. I know I complain a lot about basic training, and looking back, it wasn't that bad, and it had its moments. But it was just constant annoyingness, and it felt like it was never going to end. It honestly felt like it was never going to end, and I was going to be there forever. Was it as bad as I thought? Some part, I don't know. It affected me differently, I think. Like, I was more angry than I was like, than it was physically hard, or it was more mentally, emotionally harder for me. Especially being older. I think being older had a lot to do with it, rather than me coming in at 18, fresh out of high school. Me being 25, it was way different. Some people love it though. Some people say basic was a piece of cake and they loved every moment and they wish they could go back. Whatever, do you? That's great. I think I need to go to a part 2.